bands that were doing the best we could according to our individual determinologies. Occasionally, we met as friends, or, you know, on tour. But let me tell you, that was probably where we became major enemies too. Because it's like that. Fucking rock and roll is a disgusting concept. What we wanted was to break away from that and be good fucking fellas with each other. It never happened like that, boys and girls. It really didn't. It became so competitive and lost in its own fucking bullshit. But hello, punk. All right, where's that term come from? I'll tell you, it wasn't when Iggy was running around. It was Caroline Coon put this expression together. And it was a complete insult, right? In Melody Maker, a British magazine. She had the audacity to call me king of the punks. And I bothered to find out what that meant. Well, hello. I'm John. I ain't no fucker's toy boy. All right? And that was punk. And at the same time, you've got reggae running around there, Rastafari and Natty Dread. And Bob Marley's having to deal with Natty Dread. That was a complete insult to him. But he turned it upside down. And that's what we did too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking side down.
Absolutely. So, one thing I was wondering, John Varvatos, you know, you made that there's so many different opinions in here, like John's here. What did you learn about punk from working on this?
What did I learn?
No, I'm asking,
Are you fucking joking?
Look to your left.
He's talking to me.
Talking to your pal from on the left right there, right behind you.
Oi, fella next to you, can you tell him?
Henry's here.
Henry! Hello, Henry. Right. We ain't ever met before.
No, sir.
No, we ain't we? Right. You've said silly things, but excellently good things too.
Yes. And you call Black Flag a bunch of suburban rich kids, and we want to tear your ears off.
Yes, I did, but I didn't like the fucking music. It was boring and unoriginal. Right? You know, bang, 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 bang. It's like when Sex Pistols came to you, you ain't heard anything that fucking good, and you know it. Right? And you could hear every single word clearly. And those words
You want to rebut?
put me in the Houses of Parliament under the Traitors and Treasons Act, right? Which at that time carried a fucking death penalty. So don't talk black flag, pink flag, grey flag.
John, in the interest of fairness, John, Henry, what did the Sex Pistols mean to you?
I remember I saw a picture of young John. He's wearing a Pink Floyd T-shirt. And on top of the Pink Floyd part, someone had written, "I hate." So it says, "I hate
Someone
Pink
was
Floyd."
me, mate.
Okay. When I saw that
And
photo,
I borrowed that shirt to the drummer, too.
I'll finish in a second.
Just so you know.
I saw that shirt, and I went, "Oh." And I never thought about music the same again.
Yeah, it was a good idea,
It was a great idea.
Yeah. And guess what? It was such a good idea that I ended up having a really good relationship with the Pink Floyd guitarist. Right? He came up and he went, "Wow, nobody's ever talked to us like that." Hey, you know, don't you get it? That's punk, right? We don't hate each other. We like open debate.
Yes, and on that note, Mr. Varvatos, as I was asking before, what?
Oh, hello.
In the interest of open debate, what were the things? What were your takeaways from this documentary?
Well, there's a lot of passion.
Yes, I think so.
A lot of angst.
As Vivian used to say, fashion is a passion. I remember, but she stole that terminology, didn't she? This is the trouble. Growing up as a Sex Pistol, you know, with Malcolm and Vivian pretending they were the geniuses above us all. We're just street kids, right? So they'd use all these fashion as a passion statements. Oh, fuck off, man. Johnny Rotten tells it like it is, right? Be done with it. All right? No Malcolm, no Vivian, no bullshit, right? If I'm going to, like, say thanks to good songwriters, you know what I'd look at first? Ray Davies and the Kinks. All right? That would be my culture.
Iggy said that in the documentary too. Iggy gave credit to Ray.
Yeah, but I was lying then.
Well, what I was wondering is we could go down the panel here.
Loads of money.
What was?
No, I'm not joking. Yeah. I love good songwriters.
Absolutely.
And in the '60s, the Animals.
So, what I wanted
all of these fantastic things that were precursors.
John, I wanted to ask everybody. You said that Ray Davies inspired you. Let's go down. Let's do Henry and Duff and everyone. What was the first punk that turned you? What turned you on to punk? What was it? Was it a band? Was it a song?
Wait, I need you to redirect that question because you're presuming Ray Davies was a punk.
Well, Iggy said that Ray Davies was the first thing he heard like that.
Is Iggy a punk? Let's really...
Iggy's
is Iggy Pop a punk?
I think so.
How much time did he do in jail?
Henry,
what MC5 were the harder band.
If you want to get it. Was there a concert or a song?
Shut up, you jealous twat.
Was there a song or a band that turned you on to punk? What was the moment?
There's a guy in my neighborhood named Roberto Burton, and he had his ear to the ground. He always had the cool records. And I was telling him one day at the skate ramp how my Ted Nugent and Steve Miller records were not addressing my young man anger issues. And he said, come to my house, I'm a doctor. And he gave me the Sex Pistols album, the first Clash album, the first Ramones album. He said, return these tomorrow in one piece. And I played them and I went, oh, so that's how it can be. And that was my first indoctrination. And then I saw the Clash play Feb 15, 1979, with Bo Diddley opening and standing right in front of them. That was a transformative experience.
Wow.
Having seen Led Zeppelin like the year before. So
amazing. What about you, Duff? What got you into punk?
It was the same thing. Pistols record. Clash first record.
Records? We only had one.
We had records. Yeah, well, I said the Pistols record.
I know, man.
Yeah. So, and then this West Coast thing started to develop, like in my hometown of Seattle.
Yeah.
There was the Mentors and the Lydon and DOA were this band that started a tour. Yep. And they would come down, and DOA became like our fucking, there was only like 50 of us, but they were like our Kiss. They were everything, and they were... they had this list of like clubs to go tour, and they'd pass this list on, and we were all 14 years old, and my first gig ever was opening for fucking Black Flag with Ron Ray singing, and then seeing Dez come in, and then where I saw that '79 Clash tour before London Calling. People were pogoing, and a yellow-coated security guy punched a pogoer in the nose and broke his nose, and Strummer stopped the show.
Wow,
and he
good.
said, there's no barrier between you and I. You know, the band and the crowd, we're all in this together. And that fucking changed everything for me. And I saw when this guy came in for the first time in Seattle, new singer, this new guy from fucking D.C., SOA, he was, Henry Rollins. He's going to be the singer. And Dez moved to rhythm guitar, and I was in the band that actually opened for them that night in Seattle. And Henry, I saw him prepare for the show. Like, it was intense, and it was fucking real and scary, and things were going to happen. And I just watched him the whole day, like not getting too close because some bullshit might happen. and he might fucking punch me. But anyhow, watching that formation of Black Flag was another transformative gig for me.
Wow. Yeah, that's a great one.
See, everything he's saying is absolutely excellent.
I agree.
And I
100%.
love it. I came from England from a different background, right? With different bands. And I don't want to come over as arrogant, and neither does this fella. We're telling you the history of what influenced us. And oh my God,
Marky.
God bless every single
Hi, Marky.
band.
Hey, Marky, you want to go?
How are you?
Got Marky, Ramone.
Very good. Well, I just want to say that in 1975-74 at CBGB's, and of course in Detroit, that's when punk started. So if it wasn't for that first Ramones album, punk would not have been solidified. And that was in CBGB's, along with Blondie, the Heartbreakers, and before that, the New York Dolls. And then the Ramones went to England, and they started their punk scene. And then the rest is history. And I'm not going to argue about anything. Thank God we got the music.
Yes.
And that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter where it comes from, L.A., New York, England. This is the best music that was ever out there, and it still is. And I just want to say one thing. It has nothing to do with what was going on over here on the screen. Donald Trump, fuck off. Yeah. That's it. But I mean, the first Pistols album kicked ass. The first Ramones album kicked ass. The first Blondie album kicked ass. The Heartbreakers kicked ass. The Clash. So there was something.
Why do you think politics matter?
Something for
Is there
everybody.
anything in the Ramones that was remotely political?
No, we were a
Up
fun
until
band.
right
We were a
now?
fun band. We wanted
Really?
people to have
You know,
fun.
fun.
So the thing is
So
that
why are you
there's something
negative
for
or
everybody, and that's what's important.
You know,
there was
really.
every band was different. Every band had something to say and something to offer.
I love my world, right?
That's it.
And the one thing I've always known is, and you've always known this about me, don't fucking trust a politician. And if there's anything
Well, that's what I just
worse
said,
than a
fuck Trump.
politician, it is a businessman.
I have another question for.
Let's hear a girl talk. Come on.
I cannot speak. I cannot speak.
Danita.
Yes.
Oh,
Would you
Iggy,
please
you
tell
did
me-
turn up.
Would you please tell me how you got into punk?
You're Iggy.
Yep. I'll take it.
Danita.
I'll take it.
You've had electrolysis.
I just want to say that I came to. I knew about the Ramones and the Sex Pistols before I knew about Iggy and the MC5. So, like, as a teenager, those were the two bands that, like, were my youthquake, earthquake, and
Oh my God, I've just realized.
and it was amazing. And hang on, Tiger. Take it easy, Tiger. Let the broad speak for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I want you to know I'm a married man.
what was cool when I discovered these bands was like there was such horrible music on the radio. It was god awful. It was the 70s, the mid late 70s, and it was also boring and like over 30s music. It was just terrible. And then when I heard the Ramones, I was like, oh my God, this is like for teenagers. Oh, it's speaking to me. It's teenage. It's fun. I want to dance to it. And then when I heard the Sex Pistols, I was like, I am fucking terrified of this band, and I love it. So, you know, it was like the Sex Pistols and X-Ray Specs, they had such stuff to say. And the Ramones and Blondie and the B-52s, let's not forget them. And, you know, that was like super fun and youth. So that's what my take on it.
That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you know,
That is
in
actually.
punk, you know,
that is,
there were other
listen,
bands
whoa!
that
is
had punk
exactly
elements,
dead right.
like
that
Love.
you have to understand.
Remember the band
in
Love,
the
the
time
7 and
of punk,
7 is?
we
7
had
and 7 is.
variables.
Talk, Music Machine. 7 and 7 is by Arthur Lee. Those songs were definitely the precursor to all this stuff. You know, and in my opinion, of course, again, the Kinks, all day and all the night. You really got me, and that heavy guitar sound, and that was punk to me. And every band had at least one or two songs in the '60s that had a punk element to it. Nowadays, even the Ramones did it. Even the Pistols did it. They did '60s covers of songs. And because they had great hits, they had good stuff then. So we Ramonesed it up, and we did "Do You Want to Dance?" "Let's Dance," and that Stepping Stone.
Don't talk
Stepping Stone. You did Stepping Stone.
I did no cover of
Stepping Stone.
Yeah, and turned it upside
Okay,
down.
all right, no, it's
inside
great.
out.
Okay, don't argue with me. I'm not the enemy. Okay.
So punk.
You weren't even in the fucking band.
Unbelievable.
You're a Johnny come lately.
Yeah, okay. No, you're a Johnny come.
Hey, where'd you get that wig?
Hey, if it wasn't for the fucking Ramones, you'd be nowhere. You'd be fucking doing fish and chips somewhere.
Said the groupie. Listen, I love the Ramones,
Yeah, you love the Ramones.
but I love
okay.
status quo more.
Good for you. I believe you.
I have a question over
I
here
believe you.
for Danita. I have a question for Danita.
All right.
Yes.
I'll take it.
In the
What do you
doc, there was Joan Jett
The
talking
problem
about
with
the
this
Roadrunner
agenda
Runaways.
is that he's propagating,
I have a question
and
for
he's
Danita.
not even an original Ramone, but he's propagating
I know,
this idea.
but I did the Blank
that
Generation
the
album with
Sex
Richard
Pistols
Hell.
copied the
And you
Ramones.
took his image, and all you guys took Richard Hell's image. That's all you did.
The thing.
Yeah, and you're still covering your
You
fucking
took,
ears,
and that's all you
idiot.
fucking did was take Richard Hell's
not
image.
listening
They did the
anymore.
Blank Generation album, and that's all you did.
All right.
That's all you did. And Sid Vicious was the star. That's right. He was the star of the band.
He was the star
He was the best.
for arsehole
He was
fake
great.
idiots like
He
you.
was great.
Enjoy your
He
drugs.
kicked ass.
Fucking have a happy
He
death.
kicked ass.
So to
You
conclude,
crazy
And Glen Matlock wrote all the songs, too.
okay.
You know, there you go.
Marky, John,
Where's
Marky,
Glen
John.
Matlock?
Let's end this Jerry Springer episode for a
Where's
second. here.
Glen Matlock? Come on.
What I want to propagate here, so you all completely understand, punk music for me was positive, proof positive that we could change our lives by music, meaning what we said, attack the political systems. This daft cunt.
How come you, wait.
Is in the fucking drugs.
Hey, you talk the talk, but you didn't do the walk.
All right.
Just like the MC5.
Take a pause.
Hello! Johnny Roy never did the walk.
He just talked. He didn't do the walk. He wasn't out on the street protesting like the MC5.
What? Look at you.
That's
You look
it,
like
right?
heavy metal fucking
Whatever the
reject.
fuck,
right.
okay? Sit
take
the
a
fuck
pause.
down.
This is so punk rock, ladies and gentlemen. This is fucking punk
You
rock.
want it, you
right
got
here.
it.
Unpolished,
No, it's a-
unrehearsed, off the fucking rails.
Danita, yeah.
That's it.
Danita, I wanted to ask you, just in the interest of wrapping up, what gives you
What gives me the right to be up here?
what gives you hope for punk? What punk has been inspiring you? Let's see what.
What gives me hope for punk is that people still get really pissed off about stuff, and yet people can still laugh at people getting, upset, and it's a good time.
I'm sorry that all
time.
ended up in a fiasco, but hello, that's what punk music is.
All right, let's ask the next Duff. What gives you hope for?
You instigated it!
Are there any bands right now that are really inspiring you that are punk? Like, what gives you hope for punk stuff?
What's that?
What punk music is inspiring you right now, Duff?
Well, I'm lucky to have two daughters, 21 and 18, who turned me on to whatever the fuck is new. I love the Horrors. I love my daughter's band, the Pink Slips. Death Grips. There's a lot of energy. I go to these fucking shows in Echo Park and downtown, and I got to go see an old cruster last Saturday. Walter Lure play Heartbreaker shows. It was fucking great. But you know, there's a whole new youth movement who are doing. I think Johnny was alluding to, and the things that I experienced watching Henry and watching all my heroes and seeing Iggy as a fucking young kid. And the Pistols were so fucking exotic, talking about, the songs were about political things. I had no idea what, you know, who the Queen was or any of that shit, but it opened me up to all of that stuff, to look into it. And so did Stiff Little Fingers. When my mom came into the bedroom, I was listening to Stiff Little Fingers and Suspect Device, and she started crying. And we're an Irish family, and these boys are going through the troubles, and a Suspect Device is a bomb.
Yeah.
And anyhow, so there's a great, in Los Angeles and Seattle, there's great young punk rock, or whatever. Somebody alluded to on the documentary. I think it was Henry. Like there's no, it's not genre specific. It's just a bunch of bands with a bunch of different ideas, dropping hip hop beats or not, or just playing fucking straight up punk rock, or writing great songs. And I get to see it through my daughter's. You know, I get to go to these shows.
That's great.
Hey,
Henry, is there any
really
punk that's really
fucking good,
inspiring
this
you right
fella.
now?
There's a lot of
The point being how different we all are.
Absolutely.
And you must not forget that we have never ourselves as bands viewed each other in competition. This is something that Priest created for us.
Right.
Come on, see here, baby. I haven't got a job. What?
Well, let's end with
My
Henry.
job is to educate you.
Let's end with.
I can't hear you. Stop shouting like a fucking Marxist.
Let's just
Will you come in the middle and talk?
Let's let Henry.
No. That's not how
John.
debate is.
John.
Stop it. You know I love your tits.
All right. Henry, what? Oh, come on, John. Do you want to?
Yeah,
That's all that was about.
If I can have like just 20 seconds. One of the best things that's happening in punk rock right now is you have a lot of women in bands, and a lot of bands in Australia that are worth checking out. There's a great band called BB and the Blips, and a band called the Cable Ties, and they have fantastic angry women singers. And there's a great Australian metal band called High Tension, and I believe the singer is by way of Taipei or Singapore, ends up in Australia, or maybe she was born there. They are fantastically powerful. And to hear this woman like rip her vocal cords out per song, go online. You can listen to High Tension right now. They're fantastic. So there's a lot of women coming to the front. There's a great band in LA. You should see them whenever you can. They're called the CIA. And that would be Danae Siegel on vocals, and she's fantastic. So a lot of good punk rock is happening.
Great. And lastly, just Mr. Varvatos. What gives you hope for punk after doing this, coming out of this? Is there
All this crazy shit, it never ends. That's what's exciting, you know?
never gonna end?
I want you
All right.
to all understand the love of my life, Nora.
Me?
She has Alzheimer's.
No, not me.
No.
All right.
My Nora has Alzheimer's, so when she rings, I have to answer.
All right.
Do you
Well,
understand that with me?
Yes.
And secondly, and most importantly, which Henry was making a point of about early punk, my granddaughter was the lead singer of the Slits. And don't you ever forget that band. That's the best all-time all-girl band. So don't give me no shit.
All right. Well, we're going to end there. Thank you all so much for coming out. Appreciate it. Punk will be on Epics March 11th. It's been a trip.